A Woman of No Importance by Bennett. I was all right on the Monday. I was all right on the Tuesday. And I was all right on the Wednesday until lunchtime, at which point all my nice little routine went out of the window. Normally, i.e., provided Miss Hayman isn't paying us one of her state visits, come 12:30, I'm ready to down tools and call it a morning. I put on a lick of paint, slip over and spend a penny in costing. I should technically use the one in records, but I've told them that lavatory seat is a death trap and I'm not ringing up again. Try a bit of sellotape. I mean, what are they paid for? I'll then route out Miss Brunskill from 402 and we'll meander gently over for our midday meal. But you have to hit it right, because give it another 5 minutes and believe you me, that canteen is dog eat dog. However, if you can manage to nip in before the avalanche, you have the pick of the tables and there's still some semblance of hygiene. Our particular stamping ground is just the other side of the bamboo framework thing they try to grow ivy up. It's what Miss Brunskill calls our little backwater. We're more or less fixtures there, have been for yonks. In fact, Mr. Skidmore came by with his tray last week, just as we were concluding our coffee, and he said, "Well, girls, fancy seeing you." We laughed. Girls. Mr. Skidmore generally gravitates towards the table in the far corner, under that productivity thermometer type thing, export or die. It's actually broken. Stuck, anyway, but it's where management tend to foregather since we've had this all barriers down policy. Once upon a time, management had tables roped off. That's gone, only they still congregate there. Huddling together for warmth, Mr. Rudyard calls it. I said to Mr. Cresswell, "You can tell who's an activist." We laughed, because anyone more conformist than Mr. Rudyard you couldn't want. And he has beautiful fingernails. Of course, once management started frequenting that particular table, Miss Hayman and the personnel brigade pitch camp next door, and she'll turn round and chat to Mr. Skidmore over the back of her chair. She never used to have all that hair. Our table, though, we're very much the happy family. There's me, Miss Brunskill, Mr. Cresswell and Mr. Rudyard, Pauline Lucas, who's ex-projects. To tell the truth, she's still projects, only she's in presentation wearing her projects hat. Then there's Trish Trotter, when she's not in one of her bit of cheese and an apple phases. Joy Pedley pays us the occasional visit. But by and large, that's the hardcore. Trish Trotter is the only one with a bit of a weight problem, but we're all salad fanatics and keep one another in line. See, I have to watch my stomach anyway, and salad suits Miss Brunskill because she's a big Christian Scientist. But to add to the excitement, I bring along some of my homemade French dressing. Mr. Cresswell keeps pestering me to give Mr. Rudyard what he calls the secret formula. He's a keen cook, Mr. Rudyard. Little moustache, back like a ramrod. You'd never guess. I pretend there's a mystery ingredient and won't let on. We laugh. People are a bit envious of us, I know. I ran into Mr. McCorkadale the other day when we were both queuing in, guess, accounts. And he said, "You do seem to have a good time on your table, Peggy. What do you talk about?" And I didn't know. I thought, what do we talk about? Pauline's mother keeps getting a nasty rash that affects her elbows. We've been discussing that. Mr. Cresswell and Mr. Rudyard are going in for some new drapes for their lounge, and we're debating whether or not to have Thames Green. I said if Thames Green is a green I thought it was, then I liked it in a front door but wasn't keen on it in curtains. So that made for some quite lively discussion. And Trish Trotter has got hold of some new gen on runner beans as part of a calorie-controlled diet, so we kicked that around for a bit. But that's all it was. I mean, I don't know what we do talk about half the time. My secret is I don't talk about myself. When Joy Pedley went to Thirsk on a Know Your Client course, I mean, that's apparently the whole gist of it, concentrate on the other person. I said, well, I've no need to go to Thirsk to learn that. I was born with it.